A few years ago, the EEOC came out with 52 pages of guidance regarding the use by employers of criminal records in the hiring process. They have gone after several large employers since that time, and plaintiff attorneys are using the guidance to go after employers too. Global Data Fusion has created an individualized applicant assessment program to help you evaluate criminal records and not run afoul of the EEOC or plaintiff attorneys in your screening process. The EEOC says that you need to look at the job attributes, the criminal record offenses, try and make an initial assessment to determine if it's job-related and consistent with business necessity, and then perform an individualized assessment. This program allows you to do it easily. In this case, you have entered in the person's name, who has come back with a criminal record hit, and the last four of his social. This particular person will be working on the production line. On each particular job, there are a list of attributes that cut across all jobs, and really you need to look at in terms of negligent hiring. For example, does the position involve working with a vulnerable population? What is the person's fiduciary responsibility or access to cash? What's the level of contact with the public, the level of supervision? Is it a position of public trust? And does it operate a motor vehicle on any public transportation system? On each of these job attributes, you can choose high, medium, low, or none. Next, we will go and look at the criminal record offense. In this case, it is a driving under the influence. It is a misdemeanor, and it is a conviction from February of 2010. The EEOC always wants you to look at the nature of the offense, its severity, its certainty, and timing, and this program allows you to do that. The offenses are chosen from a drop-down box that has been, the table is used by the FBI to categorize crimes. Next, we will, there is a summary page. It's simply a place to go back and change anything if it looks wrong. And then the initial assessment. This is where the program provides you with an indicator of the job relatedness and consistence with business necessity of the criminal record offense or offenses with the job attributes that you have chosen. In this case, the production line and a 5-year-old DUI is fairly low on that scale. Next, we go through and you can still perform the individualized assessment on the individual. It's a good practice to get into. These are the questions and the considerations from the guidance that you should look at and consider. You should always inform the applicant. In this case, you can demonstrate or document that you did it in person. The applicant did not dispute any of the information. And in this case, you've hired the person. With each assessment that you do, you are left with a PDF, and it documents the process that we just went through regarding the job attributes that you have chosen, the criminal record details. It shows that you tried to determine if it was job-related, consistent with business necessity, whether the applicant disputed the information and how you let him know, and the individualized assessment questions that you must go through on each one. Different positions and different offenses will affect the job relatedness, and that is the value of this program. Here we have not John Doe, but driver John Doe. In this case, he is not working on a production line. He is going to be one of our drivers for which he's applying for. In this case, you can see that the job attributes for that position are different than working for a production line primarily. He is going to be operating a motor vehicle on a public transportation system. We have the exact same driving under the influence. It's just a misdemeanor. It was a conviction, but it was from February of 2010. We go through the summary page. And in the targeted screen or initial assessment, you can see that this has changed, that there's a high probability that a DUI, even from 5 years ago, is job-related and consistent with business necessity. That does not mean that you're not going to hire them, but you need to perform an individual assessment. Going next to the individualized assessment, you will go through the process on the questions that the EEOC wants you to go through in your considerations. In this case, you made a note that you sent a pre-adverse action notice on 4/15, but you did inform the applicant, and he did respond. You informed the applicant by phone and by mail. You sent the pre-adverse action, and he did not dispute that the records belonged to him, the action, the relevancy, or the facts or circumstances, and you can document that you sent us the adverse action notice. Again, after you go through the process, you are left with a PDF that documents the process you went through in terms of the job attributes, the criminal record details, the job relatedness and consistence with business necessity determination, but also whether the applicant disputed it. You can mark and document that you did let him know that he did respond, that he didn't dispute it, but you did go through the individualized assessment. And that is the Global Data Fusion Individualized Applicant Assessment System.